Welcome back everyone. I'm Catherine with Catherine's Plates, where it's always simple, easy, and delicious in my kitchen. Today I'm bringing you a bread recipe. It's very simple. I have 7 ingredients here that just came right out of the pantry, in the refrigerator. I'm just going to be using my mixer here to do all the work for us as we go along. I'm going to be dividing the dough into half to be used for a loaf of white bread and also some slider rolls, because those will be really fun to put stuff in. Okay guys, if you're ready, I'm going to show you these ingredients as we're building our bread dough right now. Okay, so I'm showing you all the ingredients that we're going to need. There's only 7. We're going to start off with 1 cup of warm water, 2 tablespoons of dry active yeast, 1 egg, 1½ teaspoons of salt, 1/4 cup of granulated white sugar, about 3 to 3½ cups of all-purpose flour, and then you're going to need 1/3 cup of oil. The first thing that we want to do is start activating our yeast. Okay guys, are y'all ready for some warm smelling bread throughout the house? It's going to be amazing. What we're going to do first off is everything is going to happen in our stand mixer here. Now I'm going to use 1/4 cup of sugar, so to go in. And to that, you want to add 1 cup of warm water. Now I have a temperature gauge in here, so I want that water to be about 105 degrees, and that will help activate the yeast and keep it from dying on you, okay? You don't want it too cold and you don't want it too hot. So about 105 degrees will work. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to my sugar. Now I'm just going to take a whisk and just kind of whisk that together. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and add my yeast here. Now 2 tablespoons going to go in. Just going to give it a quick stir. Okay. We're going to let this sit for 5 minutes, and when we come back it should be nice and foamy on the top and bubbly, and that means that yeast activated. Now I found this jar of yeast in my local store, and I really love this because as I use it I just put it back in the refrigerator and it keeps for quite a while. And you don't have to use those little packages and tear those little packages, but if you can find this and just stick it in your refrigerator, this will work. Okay, look at that yeast in there. It's very foamy on the top. Perfect. It should have foamed up across the whole top layer right here, which it did. Perfect. Okay, so going along the process of adding everything into our mixer here, I've got 1/3 cup of canola oil going in, 1 egg, 1½ teaspoons of salt. I'm going to add, now I said 3 to 3½ cups of flour, so I'm going to start off with 1 cup right now. So what I did was I put my cup into the flour bag and then I just kind of leveled it off. I didn't smash down in there or anything like that. I want leveled cups of flour. So here goes cup 1 in there. Okay, we're going to mix this for just a minute. What I'm going to do now is take this off, get all the dough off. Now, we need to knead the dough. You can do it by hand and it's going to take quite a while, or you can just let the machine do it. Okay, my dough hook's going to go on now. And I feel like I'm going to need another ½ cup of flour, so I'm going to add that. Still looks kind of sticky for me and I don't like that. I'm in Texas, way in the south, and it's very humid today, so it could be causing my dough to be sticky. So if that's the case, then you can add some more flour. Okay, so what I'm going to do is have the dough hook right here, knead my dough for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to be back. all nice and kneaded into a ball there. I'm going to take my hook off. Yes, you can see that it pulled away from all of the edges here. Look at that. Oh yeah. Let me show you what we're going to do next with it. Okay, so I'm just going to take a large bowl here. I'm just going to add a little bit of oil to the bottom of it. And then with your clean hand, you're just going to smooth it around the bowl, bottom of the bowl and along the sides of the bowl. Like that. Now we're going to take our dough out of our bowl here. Kind of shape it into a ball. We're going to lay it into our bowl, and then I'm just going to kind of move it around and make sure all of it is coated with the oil. Now, what I like to do, what really works, is I use some cling wrap. What we're going to do is make the dough here rise, and then I'm just going to lay a towel over it. Okay, we still want to keep it in a nice warm place. I'm going to place this in my microwave, and then we're going to come back and we should have a nice big mound of dough in there. Okay, so I've got my station ready right here to finish up our bread and our rolls. Let's go ahead and take a look, see what we've got going on here. Y'all, it more than doubled in size. It took about 45 minutes. I had the saran wrap on it, nice and tight, and then I had a towel over that, and I put it in my microwave, let it rest for about 45 minutes. Look at that. Okay, now what we're going to do is you want to release the air out of your dough. So you're just going to take your fist and you're going to hit it, and it's just sinking down right there. Now what we're going to do is take this dough out. Now I'm just putting it on a cutting board, and I'm going to take my pastry cutter here, bench scraper, whatever you want to call it, and I'm just going to cut this in half. Remember, this is a doubled recipe. One of these is going to be used for a loaf of bread, or loaf of white bread, and this one here I'm going to use to make my slider buns with. Okay. So I have my pan. Now this is a bread pan. I will put the size of it right above. And what you want to do is just lightly spray. I'm going to set this off to the side for a minute. Okay, we're going to set this off to the side. Here we go. So you want to take your loaf here, and what you want to do is pull from the sides to the bottom. Tuck it up underneath to make a nice loaf there. I'm going to take this, bring my pan back over here, lay this in there. I'm going to take the same wrapping here that I used, put it over. What we're going to do now is let this rise for another 45 minutes. Say goodbye to this one. It's going to go into the microwave. Now, with this one here, I've got a sheet pan here, and I'm just going to lightly spray this one. Set that off to the side, and I'm just going to do the same thing, kind of form a loaf a little bit, long one. Just keep tucking it under. Alright, so I'm just going to take my pastry scraper here again, cut it lengthwise. I'm just going to pull some off of it, just pinch it off like that, and then just kind of tuck it into itself. And then I'm going to take my sheet pan here and lay it right like that. I mean, if you want to cut them with your bench scraper too, you can do that, just to get the sizes you want. So I got 12 of them sitting here. So instead of rolling them in a ball, I am kind of just pushing the ends into the back of it there. Just like that. I like to push these close because, you know, when you do sliders, I like to take the whole thing and slice them through. So the closer the better. Or if you want them all separated, that's even fine too. It'd be like a dinner roll. Okay, I'm going to take some cling wrap here, and what I'm going to do is pull a sheet out. I'm going to lightly spray it with some cooking spray on the top of it. Very lightly. And then what I'm going to do is just lay that across my rolls. Very lightly. All right, I'm going to allow these to rise a second time for 45 minutes. Okay, so our next step is to take 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of water, and we're going to blend those together. And we're going to use this to put on top of our loaves before we bake them. It's going to give the bread a nice color on the top. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead now and take a look at our bread during the second rising. 45 minutes. Okay, I'll see that. It's well over the edge of the pan, which is great. I can just pull that right off. Okay, I'm going to go ahead now and baste my bread with the egg mixture, egg and water mixture. All right, let's get our rolls out and baste those. Oh my goodness, look at those. Look how they doubled in size. Let's pull that plastic off. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited about these little slider buns that we're gonna make. All right, so taking that same egg mixture. Oh, they smell so yeasty. They smell so delicious. Oh, if you can be hungry times 2, I am that right now. Y'all, it's so worth it to make your own. And my bread. Now let me tell you what's going to happen here. Okay, so I've got my rolls and I've got my bread. Now these are going to go into an oven that's been preheating at 375 degrees. The rolls will go in for about 15 to 20 minutes. We're going to keep an eye on those. And then this is going to be next to them, and it's going to stay in there longer for about 40 to 45 minutes. Y'all just keep an eye on these. I am placing these on the bottom rack of my oven so that the tops of these don't cook faster than the inside. Okay, I'm so anxious to see what's going to happen when we pull them out of the oven. Okay, y'all, look at these delicious dinner slider rolls, whatever you want to call them. Yes, I think there's one missing. We took one, we cut it into 3s, and we ate it and slathered butter all over it. I wanted to show y'all the inside of this. Look at the bottom, sides. Oh, done perfectly. Okay, butter. Slather, just like that. Let me take a bite for you guys. Those are delicious. All right. Now we're going to try the loaf of bread. Okay, y'all. Oh my gosh, my house smells amazing. Between this loaf of bread and my little slider buns, oh my gosh. All right. Here we go. Oh, look at this bread, y'all. Let's see, I'm going to cut a slice for you. Oh, look at that. Loaf of bread right there. Okay, are you imagining sandwiches, toasting this? Only one way to try a piece of bread right out of the oven. Slather some butter on it. Okay, look at how golden brown that crust is all the way around. It's got a nice crumb to it. Seems very nice and fluffy. I'm going to try a bite for you guys. It holds its texture very good. Okay guys, are you going to double up your recipe like I did to make slider rolls? And you saw how beautiful those were. Or you can make the loaf bread, which was so delicious too. I will always double this recipe because I like to make the loaf and then have the rolls on hand. So you can also single this recipe and just make the loaf, or you can make the rolls. So whichever one you want to do. Okay, pick one. Thank you so much for watching my show today. Make sure you click that subscribe button down below and that bell notification if you're new to my channel. Give me a comment. Don't forget my thumbs up. And I'll move over here so that I can give you 2 other bread recipes that I have. And guys, I will see you on my next episode.